So in the previous lessons, we talked about the long-term approach, which is swing trading. We also talked about the short-term approach, which is day trading. In this lesson, we'll focus on the hybrid approach, which is something that I've created. It's a style that I really enjoy myself, and it's a combination of swing trading and day trading. Let me explain that a little bit. So with swing trading, you're mainly focusing on the higher time frames, right? So you're looking at the monthly chart, the weekly chart, the daily chart, and you're looking for these beautiful longer term setups that could literally last anywhere from a week to 3 months, right? Day trading. With day trading, you're mainly focusing on the lower time frames, the 4-hour chart, the 1-hour chart, and executing on a 5-minute time frame, right? And also keeping an eye out mainly on the daily time frame, a little bit on the weekly and the monthly, but mainly focusing on the daily and the lowers. So that's swing trading and day trading. The hybrid approach is the combination of all of that, right? It's looking at the monthly chart, the weekly chart, the daily chart, and making sure that there's a beautiful long-term setup there. And then once there is a long-term setup and you have that entry, the entry is presenting itself for a long-term swing trade, right? As an example, when you're ready to take that swing trade, the hybrid approach is, instead of taking it as a swing trade, is going down farther. Now looking at the 4-hour chart, the 1-hour chart, and executing it on the 5-minute, right? It's combining the styles, long-term and short-term. And the beauty with the hybrid approach is that there's so much confirmation, because let's say I'm looking for a long trade. The monthly chart will be bullish, the weekly chart will be bullish, the daily chart will be bullish, right? And then as I'm executing the trade, so a swing trader would stop right there and they would just take the trade. As a hybrid trader, I would go farther and I would make sure that the 4-hour chart is bullish, the 1-hour chart is bullish, and I would execute the long-term trade on a 5-minute time frame as a day trade, but hold it for long-term, right? That is the hybrid approach. And with that, there's a lot of flexibility, because you can still approach it from a short-term point of view where you hold it for a week, right? But you can also approach it from a long-term point of view where you hold it for months. And the hybrid approach is really great because there's a lot of confirmation. That's what I talked about. You can do multi-time frame analysis all the way from the higher time frames all the way to the lower time frames. And when everything lines up, you can execute it as a hybrid trade. And that is what the Holy Grail lesson is all about, right? So once we get through the strategy lessons, once we get through the management lessons, we're going to have the Holy Grail lessons. And in the Holy Grail lesson, that's the hybrid approach. I'm going to look at the charts and I'm going to talk all about the hybrid approach. But in this lesson, when it comes to your trading style, I'll just wrap it up all together here. When it comes to you deciding your trading style, right? You got to figure out what your life condition is, whether you want to be a long-term trader, more of a part-time approach, whether you want to be a day trader, more of a full-time approach, or in this case, whether you want to be a hybrid trader. A hybrid trader, you can be either long-term or short-term, right? But it takes a little bit more skill. So when those long-term setups are presenting themselves, you're going to wait a little bit longer till you have everything that you require on the lower time frame. So it's still mixing a little bit of that day trading. You're going to have to be on the chart throughout that day, on the computer throughout that day, making sure that, that setup is presenting itself, kind of thing. So it's still part-time, but it's combining the two styles, and you can still do a long-term. But at the same time, you can be a hybrid trader and a day trader at the same time, where you're focusing on the hybrid approach, looking for those beautiful long-term setups and executing them as a day trader, and at the same time looking for those quick day trades in and out, right? You can mix the styles, and that's what I've done throughout the years. I've mixed day trading and hybrid trading. So day trading and swing trading, created this hybrid approach, but also focus on those really quick day trades as well, right? So you really have to decide where you are in life and what it is that you want to approach. And again, once we go through the lessons, you're going to see how that actually plays out. The next lessons are the strategy lessons. So we're going to be mainly focusing on day trading, as it requires a little bit more skill, and you need to know day trading in order to execute the hybrid approach, right? But once we finish day trading, we'll focus on management. Then we'll look at the Holy Grail lessons, which is the hybrid approach. It's looking at the whole picture. And then after that, I'll talk about swing trading in a little bit more detail. I'll focus a little bit more on the charts, the technical approach, and talk more about swing trading. And at that point, you'll be able to really decide what it is that you prefer yourself, because you can apply the strategies to long-term trading, to swing trading, to the higher time frames. Easy, right? The strategies that we're going to be talking about next, the complete breakout, the IBO, the initial breakout, the advanced breakout, the ACB, advanced continuation breakout. Every single one of those strategies that we have in MasterClass, that we talk about MasterClass that I developed, you can execute them on the lower time frames, but you can also execute them on the higher time frames. And when you combine the two, that's the hybrid approach. When you just execute them on the higher time frames, period, right? That's the long-term approach. When you execute the strategies just mainly on the lower time frames and just looking at the daily chart for proper confirmation, that's the day trading approach. But when you combine the strategies and you have a strategy playing itself out, let's say the complete breakout on a higher time frame, and then on a lower time frame you have an advanced breakout, that is the hybrid approach, or also referenced as the holy grail later in the lessons. So that is it for trading style, right? Know that this is a career, and as you go through this career, as you progress as a trader, your trading style might evolve as well. You might start off with swing trading, right? Because you're working full-time. So that is something that you might prefer. If you're working full-time, you just might prefer swing trading. Be a little bit off, a little bit more hands-off, part-time trading and so on. And then once you have more time, you can focus on day trading. The thing is, a lot of traders, they still work full-time and focus on day trading. It can be draining, right? But if you can do it, I did it, right? I did it. And I was able to quit my job sooner because, again, day trading provides more opportunities than swing. But again, swing trading is better for the body and the mind, specifically when you're working full time, right? So you're gonna see for yourself, but you might either start off with swing trading or day trading. It's really up to you, right? Depending on your life conditions. But let's just talk about the trader journey. You might start off with swing trading. Once you quit your job or you have more time or you want to dedicate more time to this, you might all of a sudden move on to day trading, right? Once you really grasp the lower time frames, the intraday approach, right? At that point, you will have, if you went with that journey, you will have a really good understanding of the higher time frames because you've been a swing trader for a bit. And then you'll move on to day trading and gain a lot of intraday knowledge. So because you've been a day trader for a little bit, right? Now you've been both swing trader and a day trader. And now you might want to decide to combine the skills together and become a hybrid trader, right? And you might want to utilize the hybrid approach and day trade at the same time. So evolve in your career in that way. And once you get really good at that, then all of a sudden you might want to move on to equities. You might want to day trade Forex and all of a sudden swing trade equities or swing trade cryptocurrency, right? You can mix around, you can play around with this and really evolve your career. And then eventually, as your capital grows, maybe you're already starting with a lot of capital. You might want to diversify and start investing, right? So you will diversify within Forex, equities, cryptocurrency, and maybe start investing, passive investing, active investing, value investing. Maybe you want to get into venture capitalism, which is investing in startup companies and so on. Maybe you want to get into algorithmic trading because you really love working with code and so on, and you want to automate all of this. So just know that this is a career. I'm just going to say this one more time. This is a career. You can evolve as a trader and an investor, and you can do this for a very, very, very long time. This is not a get rich quick. This is not something that you just do for a month or a year. This is something that you can really do for years, for the rest of your life, really, or for as long as the financial markets exist. But that is the end of trading styles, right? And the next lessons, we're going to focus on the strategies themselves, and we'll pick up on this where we left off right now. So we'll still continue talking about day trading. We'll talk about swing trading. We'll still talk about the hybrid approach. So you'll actually see many examples on the charts themselves. So that is it for now. Something to think about, right? Think about the trading style and the whole trading career, there's many opportunities here, right? From part-time to long-term to investing, venture capitalism, and all that good stuff. So that is it for now, and I'll chat to you later. Take care.